as I mentioned before, it was Free Comic Book Day this past weekend. It was also Star Wars Day, which makes today
Yes, that part.
of the 6th. So, and I'll answer the question for Tafari. I know he asked it before, like, what is the actual canonical statement? So it's May the 4th be with you. What is it?
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Fifth.
Revenge of the
That's what
Fifth.
I thought was the fifth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or was it the Fifth Strikes Back and then Revenge of the Sixth? So you
definitely want to put Revenge of the Fifth next to Cinco de Mayo. Then you get
Although we could really use a lot of that. Speaking of which, like I said, we normally don't do politics on here, but if you're going to use AI and impose on a holiday that's meant for us in Star Wars, at least get it right, the history anyway. Because you look like an ass again.
Yes, I was told apparently it's the 4th. What is it? Revenge of the 5th, and then the 6th strikes back because you're hungover from Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
Okay. I can see that.
That is the reasoning TikTok and the internet has given me.
Acceptable.
And on that rare year where it all falls on Free Comic Book Day, you get to drunk read books and celebrate being a dork.
Oh hell no! Don't be right.
Love that
every day.
And mind you, there's
all three together? Comic books and tequila.
Not to mention, there's always a comic book movie release.
Yeah,
true. That is very true.
So we managed to always have a nice release, without spoiling Thunderbolts.
Unless you have notifications turned on from Marvel, Jesus.
Right.
Like straight up when I got on YouTube this morning, first thing that hit my phone, I'm like, y'all didn't give it a full week. Like,
yeah, you're right, Christy. Cheeto Satan got that all the way wrong. I'm like, you really missed. You've never watched it. I can tell. I can just tell. So, but yeah, you're right, Tafari. I had this conversation in another chat, and they were saying it's crazy how if you are following certain people that were in the film, there are certain things happening. Billboards are changing, cereal boxes are changing, and I found it weird at first, but then I had to think about it. I said, I forgot we only have 45-day movie releases now. Like, that's how long you're in the theater. And that kind of changes the whole, it's a domino effect that we didn't realize would actually happen, because before, it will be at least 2 weeks before you heard anything. You might get a slip up here and there, but it's not even that now. It's become the weekend of at this point, and well into a week of it. So it's more or less, hey, find the chat group that is talking about it if you've seen it, and if you're in said chat group and you haven't seen it, mute it, because they're going to say everything. And so I think it's more or less that because of the shortened window that a movie runs, that is caused is like, okay, let's let this cat out the bag, because we just don't have a lot of time.
Right.
And that's the only way I can look at it. Unless they extend that 45-day window back to 90. It's not hard to do. That way you're not so pressed. That way you're not so pressed to having movie releases so close together. Fantastic Four, after part two, man.
Like, did y'all see Sinners come back and like panic? Like, what happened? Like, not even a full set. Even the early screenings haven't seen it a full week yet. Y'all just said, oh, all right, Monday morning, just drop all the drafts. Just
they did.
Yeah.
Sebastian Stan is out changing poster boards. Red Guardian's doing work. I'm like, what is happening right now? It's weird. It's weird, but there is one thing with the Sebastian Stan thing going around, chasing the bus stop posters. Somebody said in the comment, and I think it's cool. I said, I'm waiting on Sam to come behind him and tear those posters down.
Ooh.
I was like, it would be perfect. It would be the perfect sell. I said, just run with it. Run with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it is what it is. But here we are. It's wild that we're in these positions of movie watching nowadays. And
It's so good to be a Blerd.
We're eating. I don't know about everybody else, but we're eating.
Yeah, that we are.
So, other than that, without giving away on this platform, we're just like, hey, we don't know anything. We ain't saying it. Here she is, my second command.
My captain, yay, my other captain.
So we, without, like I was saying, without spoiling the movie, here's a quick rundown of what you thought, Kira. I don't.
I'm gonna say, girl.
I'm gonna mute.
You got it. You got it.
It was fine.
It was fine.
No, she didn't give it like she didn't. It was fine. She didn't give it like a crazy low score or anything.
Yeah, no. I liked it. I thought I had a good time. I thought it was funny. Which is standard for a Marvel movie. They try to do the funny thing. It wasn't overkill. Ooh, excuse me, like they usually do. I just ate something. I'm really sorry. I've been hungry. I think they could have done more with some things, less with others. I think they need to ask their audience to be smarter.
Yes, I agree. I went in and I did a quick review. I went in watching the movie expecting just what I got, so I wasn't underwhelmed. But the overall theme, which I will say, being released during Mental Health Awareness Month, this is a great sell, and this was probably I didn't think this would be a great vehicle for it, but it's actually a really good vehicle.
Very good.
To talk about something like that. So to deal with trauma and to deal with your past. And I'm like, that is pretty damn interesting.
Mm-hmm. I think it's very door-ish opening, but it's also very influential of how, if you're going to do something like this, it's not all sunshines and rainbows just because your friends are there. And I think that can be I don't want to, it's not dangerous, but it can be misleading. Yeah.
I can see that. I can see that.
Millions of people thinking that, I just need to, pat my friend on the back and tell them that they're worth it. It's not that.
No, it just helped in this particular situation. It just helped in it. And I'm glad because Yelena, who we tend to like around here, she's adorable.
Lady Miss Ma'am carried. She carried the whole movie. She carried.
I put it like this: father and daughter did their thing. Let's just put it that way.
So Yelena and Alexia,
they did their thing, and literally, there's a scene where she asked Bob, "Are you okay?" And he's trying to remember. And she was like, "Okay, you're coming with me." And so the fact that she's almost playing big sister, mother hen to this particular individual, she's like, I'm keeping this one close.
It's also that a little bit of I want to say codependency too.
Yes.
Just because she sees the dark, she sees
then
you gravitate towards that real easy. So it's nice to, I think people with depression can gravitate towards those characters, and because they see themselves gravitating towards those types of people because they get it. Those two, they get each other. They understand. That's why
that conversation they first had when they first are introducing to themselves. That conversation was the starting piece, and I think that started it for him. He was like, there is someone here who generally gets me and gives a damn and is kind of going through it too and gets it. So, Navy.
Oh boy. I'm going to repeat what I said on Sunday because I had this conversation with Lady Mandalore. And if y'all have never had a conversation with Lady Mandalore about something she's very passionate about, she gives you that look, you know.
What did I look like?
So intensely feral.
Gosh.
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. Everybody's experiences is different, and I fully understand it. But what I enjoyed this movie because I expected it to be what I wanted to be, fun. I went into it with an open mind, like I always do for any Marvel movie. I never go with expectations because if you do, you're going to set yourself up. So you kind of open your mind to what they're presenting, and I was not disappointed from beginning to end. Characters, I just don't like Valentina. I've said this many times before. That is a character that should just get
charmingly hateful.
Just give her a bullet to the head and then just keep it moving.
Damn.
I said what I said. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. Elena definitely carried it, and it was funny is after I had this conversation with after Lady Mandalore and I went off the air, I said movies like this can be a vehicle to open other people's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
If they are not open to real life situations, sometimes you need a make-believe or pretend scenario for you to understand what someone's going through by seeing it through a different lens. And I said, wow, even though you may not know all of the nuances of being in that level of depression and misery, you see it and you can recognize it and you can even understand it to a certain point. So while the solution may not always be, hey, gather around people, to me, it was recognize it and understand that someone's going through something a lot worse than you, and they're
not succumb to it, but
right, and they're going to put up their own defenses in order to deal with it to continue moving forward.
Right.
But I really love the movie. I want to go back and see it again. It is definitely a required repeat viewing.
Yes, it's far.
If you haven't seen it and managed to dodge spoilers, like blindfold yourself and ask an usher to walk you to a theater at this point, because like even the promos in the building have like.
Yeah, I need to go back and take another picture of the cereal box.
Like you get spoiled on the way to the actual box office now. So, but I thought it was okay. Like it did what it needed to do, and for once, accurately set up what's right around the corner, which is something we haven't done like I think since Multiverse of Madness. Yeah, it was a different group of characters. I mean, I had to get adjusted to seeing how these people work. We know John's a dick. No one was shocked by that whatsoever.
Now he's now a more affable dick at this point. He's just like you can tolerate it. He's more like he's smart, but not smart enough. Like he doesn't catch it quick enough.
He never will.
Like Bucky and Elena, they are here. And they can catch something. John is just like 3 sentences behind. It's like, dude, we just discussed this. Like, we just discussed this. What are you talking about? You know, so yeah.
Yeah, seeing everybody's dynamics, seeing everybody seeing the point where they figure out they shouldn't abandon each other. I'm not shocked at how fast they figured out they were all basically being played. Like I said, Val, I feel like is who Norman Osborn would be if Sony would play nice, because even her whole spiel, watching Bucky awkwardly talk to women, trying to do espionage was weird because it's like, I saw you talk to Sam's sister 2 episodes in a row, so I know you've done this before. Like, but
he can talk to the sisters. You forget he was in Wakanda for quite a while. So he can talk to the sisters. It's everybody else he may not have any riz for. That's just all it is.
We already know he got jungle fever. He got jungle fever.
Too long.
He brought cookies and cream cake to the party. So yeah, he knows that level. He gets that.
That nice knowing a Wakandan arm and metal is dishwasher friendly. I found that hilarious.
That's not a spoiler. That's actually in the trailer.
Yeah.
Don't you wish it was that easy though?
And then turning Bob's name into a running joke. I didn't think it would land the way it did, but it actually worked. So we told you his name's Bob. 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 But yeah, I think it all came together nicely. Third act kind of went exactly how I thought it would. I wasn't too shocked. I will say the plot twist at the end, I'm like, you sneaky Caucasian. I'm not shocked that you pulled. You pulled this off very well, very smooth of you. I didn't think they would go with it though. I thought they were very much going to be like, I figured they would all do their own, just Homer Simpson away and leave Red Guardian and just be like, I'll take the glory for this.
No, lady.
This was the second movie that I kind of wasn't ready for, to be honest with you. I felt like if Guardians.
Oh my God! Leave it to Mal. Leave it to Mal.
We have
out the gates.
Mal he pulled out the dagger on this one tonight, bro.
We have officially
and bullseye accuracy.
We made it to almost 36 minutes in.
We have officially corrupted this man, but go ahead, lady.
What do you mean we? What do you mean we? He was already corrupted.
The tagline is entertain and educate and encourage. I guess we did that. Go ahead, lady.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like this was the second movie that caught me off guard and how deep it kind of would be as far as like just dealing with mental health. Like first it was Women in the Yard that absolutely a hard watch for me. And then like this was somewhat of a hard watch because I was like, shit, this is really getting into some of the things that I need to deal with myself. So I was like, if not Thunderbolts, if Guardians of the Galaxy you needed therapy for, Thunderbolts you got therapy for.
Yeah.
Another thing was that this was now kind of undoing some of the criticism that Falcon got in his move in Captain America by talking down Red Hulk because of the climax that happens. I'll just leave it at that since we're not talking about spoilers.
Yeah.
Nobody come for what happened and how that resolved itself. Everybody had comments for the new Captain America and how he talked down Red Hulk. So I thought that was very interesting as well.
Spartan.
Not to sound like a broken record, but it's amazing to take the subject of mental health and basically build a movie around it, and still keep the characters relatable. Walker was still a dick. That's never changed.
That's why his shield isn't fixed.
I mean, Ghost was exactly that because Ghost had about as much screen time as LeBron's career playoff run right now.
Wow.
I mean, there was someone else who had less, but we're not gonna say no names.
Yeah. There was someone who had way less. Yeah. There was someone who had way less, but we'll let y'all figure that out.
That was fuckery at its fucking finest.
She was not happy about that.
Who did that person piss off? For real.
That was way too easy. But I'm like, yo, wait a minute.
Although I will say I think that's a nice way of doing a order 66 on that person. I'm gonna leave it at that. I did like the fact again, like I said, the mental health aspect of it all, to where if you leave something buried and you keep burying it, eventually becomes a manifestation, and then you have to deal with the trauma. And then my favorite has always been Red Guardian. Red Guardian to me was the pillar of the entire freaking movie because that man's optimism was unfreaking shakeable. That man's optimism is he's like, and of course, I just love the fact that he played the position he was wanting to play since Black Widow, not to give too much of the movie away. And like I said, Bucky, what can you say about Bucky outside of the fact that Wakandian hair and shea butter has never looked good on a white boy? Because you can tell that the shea butter was still in place. But outside of that, it does set up a nice dynamic to where, like I said, this was essentially a good movie. I can see where there might have been some hangups, but I can't complain. I thought it was solid for what they're trying to go for, especially for the story moving forward.
Two things. that I really picked up on. One, and it hit me both times. There's a scene between Yelena and Alexei, and she pretty much breaks down and she calls him daddy, and I'm like,
all the feels.
Damn it. And she just kind of lets it out, and you look at his face and he's like, and we know that's not his that's always his little girl without actually being his little girl, her and Natasha. And that look he has, like he's trying to make her stop, and he just wants to grab her and hold her. I'm like, damn, that is your daddy. it's Yandu all over there. He may have been your father, but I'm your daddy.
Right.
And I'm just like, damn. So yeah, that was a yanker and pause. So yeah, I'm quick with it. So yeah, that was a moment, and then there's another scene. If you look at the color gradient of the entire film, like that kind of grayish, cloudyish look at the final scene. Completely different. It's dark, but it's like it pops. The color pops.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Shout out to the Russos for that scene. But those two scenes, I'm like, oh, I'm noticing a theme here. And John, no one likes you because it's 14 months later and you still have a taco for a shield. So
why did you keep this? And I guess Bob is just getting a free room and board at this point. Like,
I'm like, did you undo what you did, sir?
Or like,
he's trying, but he's just like, I'll just have this milkshake and wash the dishes.
y'all have 3 super soldiers. Y'all can't each like grab just a piece and just.
I'm tripping on the fact that how do we have antimantium and you're like you're still dealing with metal. I'm like, sir. Requisition.
I'm sure he's asked Bucky, and Bucky's like, yeah, no, they don't like you.
When either Black Panther 3 Eyes or Wakanda, I need all the shade and strays Wakanda's been catching addressed, because that's like 2 movies in a row where it sounded a little hard ER-ish. That's
definitely catching strays.
I just want him to come on nowhere.
He was like, oh, you thought it was like that, huh? Bucky, do all dirty work.
You see M'Baku, he's King M'Baku's not getting invited to any of these meetings.
I just want him to walk in and just go, you bunch of bald-headed demons.
So last night, I will speak for me and Kira. Last night we were fanboying and fangirling out over the Met Gala.